A family of three: Theo Conroy, who is a retired banker, his wife Susanna, she is actress, and their daughter Ella.
With no personal achievements yet.
They set on to vacations and book a house in a countryside. When they reach the house, all their reactions are like this.
I love it! Oh my god. I love this.
But
But.
what they didn't know, they were going into the house of horrors. At first night, before going to the bed, Theo goes to turn off the lights in the house. So, when he turns off a light in a room, the light in the next room lightens up, and this keeps happening until he's like.
Guess that one stays on.
So, when he turns to the bedroom, he had almost spent 5 to 6 hours while turning off the lights. But he didn't notice it. His wife was already asleep, and he's like.
Really? Oh, come on, you can't be asleep yet.
So, the next day, Ella and Susanna go for a walk, where Ella starts asking some weird question to her mother.
Why do people hate Daddy so much?
And she's like,
What?
You know that
so she tells her a story of previous wife of Theo, that she took some drugs and drowned herself in a tub, and people blame Theo for her murder, but court released him as innocent. After some time, Theo wakes up and starts to write his journal because he was managing some psychotic problems and depression. He gets frustrated and goes in the town to buy some groceries, where he meets a shopkeeper, and he asks some more weird questions about the house.
Anything happened yet?
Shopkeeper also inquires him about Statler, who was the owner of house, and gives him a triangle as a gift and to go for right angles. Theo, who was already suspicious about her wife cheating on her, checks on her devices to find anything suspicious, but finds nothing.
Task successfully failed.
Theo, who couldn't sleep at night, gets up and starts to write his journal, where he finds something spooky, a message on his diary and also a door that he didn't see before. He goes in and finds some photos and finds her daughter dead, and he's like,
No. The dream! The goddamn dream!
and stabs himself with a piece of glass and wakes up to find out it was only a dream. The next morning, he tells her wife about his dream and goes to inquire at the house, but they do not find anything. Susanna, who has to go out of the town for her work, before going she wants to spend her time with her daughter, while Theo finds out Susanna had 2 phones and was cheating on him. He also finds the same message that he saw in his diary during his dream, and he's like,
I didn't dream that.
Susanna leaves in anger, and now it's just Ella and Theo at house. So things start to get more spookier. Theo measures the angles of the house but finds out none of the angles match. Also, he finds out house is bigger from the inside and smaller from the outside. During that, Ella gets cold and goes inside to take her jacket but gets lost in the house. Theo goes inside the house to find her, but things start to get even more spookier and weird. So he finds a third door that wasn't there before. He goes inside and finds more spookier things. After some time, he finds Ella and calls the same shopkeeper he went to before. Shopkeeper tells them a spooky story about the house and frightens them.
An ant doesn't know what a cathedral is, or a power plant, or a volcano.
It's the same with that house. You don't know what you can't know.
It's a legend. The devil builds a tower to collect souls, and God destroys it. But the devil just builds it up again, and again.
So, Theo and Ella decide to leave the house. But after a long walk, they end up back to the house. So unwillingly, they go inside the house to get some rest. Something happens and Theo goes to check up and ends up getting trapped in some kind of time loop, where he sees his past self and leaves a message on the notebook. Also meets the Statler in the basement of house and asks him to leave Ella alone.
Go. Let her go!
But he replies it is Theo himself and his sins that are keeping Ella in the house. And after some time, Theo finds her daughter again In the morning, Susanna comes back and Theo confesses to her.
I killed her, Sis. I let her drown. I could have pulled her out. And I didn't. I watched her die.
And after the confession, Theo gets trapped in time loops for eternity, and movie ends.
Bye, have a great time.